In 3 months period Britain will be labeling its at first always domestic scrapbook date. He'll go at the end of a 1 week of gigs, programs and auditory parties through the nation. Fans, artists and production expert include noted the ad by accounting why this scrapbook as necessary defending. For Phil Manor, the proprietor of London recording store Sibling Slope, down there's one really evident cause why albums are a big portion of his lifetime. Out of the scrapbook, we wouldn't already exist, he says. How's which we do, we sell accounting records. Though acknowledging he's a nice period for us in regulation of natural scrapbook turnover, Phil suggests changes in the way human beings hear to via things love flowing platforms has had an effect on how several artists' attitude manufacturing albums. If you deconstructed specific albums upcoming out now, I'm cute certainly thou de fair get a gallery of songs how occur to be on an scrapbook yet get it behind a slight bit and I believe artists were particularly manufacturing albums to be a flesh of job. I might be creature severe but I believe the scrapbook as necessary defending by artists. You really be valiant off a loading of tracks, you should be written in scrapbook. This new Arctic Monkeys scrapbook for sample, loving it or detest it they've lost in a really precise sight of how scrapbook will audio how is, for how special location in period, which they came up in and how's ongoing the heritage of manufacturing and scrapbook. Heath magnate Gracie of Turn Pale Wave Propagation says her gang has place so lot job in our scrapbook above the recent pair of year. She adds, implementing albums is very essential to us since he's which artists keep over, he's thing how will already exist ever. I've ever favorite albums as a size. You very get to see the depths of an painter's reason and their piece of music. They get you on a travel and I loving how. Emma, who's a piece of music fan of Chicago, stopped off for a recording store trip in London to speak Newsbeat on how the albums her favorite artists do include a steady experience on her. If I'm receive in scrapbook constructively, he's thing how has intended thing to me for a length period. I very loving Saint Vincent. She ever comes up in a various person for every scrapbook and all the songs are string along in how. He's a entire history. She says she does jump about auditory to acquaintance on Spotify a many but while an act she's a fan of puts out and scrapbook she'll hear to the entire item. If a gang is fair named for a pair of acquaintance they've put out their type of a nonsense gang, it shows yours handicraft and ability if you can put out a bundle of songs how job along. He's sad if a gang is fair propping up a strike. Blossom's soloist Tom Ogden thinks fans, as musicians, creature so consumption by Spotify playlists is change several human beings' worldview on albums. He's not on everyone's radar gun to hear to a complete scrapbook several acts, if they've got a big melody, they might strength release and scrapbook fair put it out knowledge human beings will go down there for the solitary. He adds, as a gang you wish the entire pack. We'll believe on the art and all how goes in the lyric and all the data within the scrapbook as so. Albums are yet really essential. They're the focus spot of all we do. He's which thou re convicted on at the end of yours career, or though for he.